coming up. There we are. Is there anyone clicked on yet?
No.
Well, it'll tell you 1, 2, 3.
No.
One.
Hello, I'm just going to wait for a few others to join us before I start. You might have to zoom in when I'm painting a bit more, okay? Just waiting for a few more. Hi, Marie. Just going to wait a few more minutes, or a couple more minutes. See if anybody else joins us. I'm doing flowers today. Marie, we're doing flowers. Basic, simple flowers. Some spring-like. You know, we've got spring coming up and Mother's Day. So I thought I'd go with something quite easy. Easy peasy. I tend to go for the easy stuff because I shake so well. Okay, I've got a few on. I can make a start and people can just catch up. Okie doke. Right, so I'm going to start with this one first. And basically I've mixed a couple of gels together. You can use acrylic nail art paint, you could use gel polish, you can use whatever you like really. I'm just using some gel paints that I've got, and they are the Anna ones. Can you see that? Okay, and I've mixed red and purple. Is it purple? No, violet together to create that colour. You could do it in any colour you like. You could do it even in black, you know, depending on what your set of nails that you're doing are like. So I've just got white gel everywhere. Okay, so it's basically like a pansy. I'd say it's more like a pansy. Okay, with a few swirls and a few leaves, really basic. You just put a little bit of your brush, a little bit of gel on the end of your brush. Don't overload it. Okay, now you're going to have to excuse my shaking. I'm shaking really bad today. Okay, and then what you need to do, you need to use the tip of your brush. So keep your brushes quite upright because we don't want to use the belly, just the tip. And that's how you get your finer lines. Okay, and I'm going to be drawing sort of like a heart shape petal, but not quite. So you... It doesn't matter if it comes out very thin to begin with. Because we can always go over. Okay, and remembering, if you're doing flowers, odd number for petals, never even. Okay, I'm just going to flash cure that for a brief second so I don't smudge it. Rihanna, I'm just using a basic liner nail art button, just like a paintbrush. It's from EF Gel Paint Nail Art by Anna. Yeah, just a fine line. So any fine line brush that you've got. Okay, so I'm just going to go over some of these. remembering to try and using the tips of your brush. Obviously it'll be much better if you haven't got the shakes, you know. Okay, so then I'm going to draw or paint rather a basic leaf there. Then I'm going to put in a swirl. Like that for the minute. I'll come back and finish that off in a minute. And do a swirl going the other way. And then do another leaf. Okay, with a dotting tool, what I do is I use the dotting tools to do my swirls. Okay, I'm just going to flash cure that for a second. Oh, it's out of shot. Okay, hang on then. Can you see it? Oh, Cat's got the ump. Okay, and then basically I'm going to do the same this end. Cats are having a fight. Okay. Doesn't have to be precise, you know. Obviously, when you're working on a customer, you tend to do a slightly better job. Okay. Just use my dotting tool again. Okay, and then that's it. Okay, I'm just going to flash cure that. Oh, Dager's watching. Hi, Michelle. No worries. There's no rush. And then I'm going to just put a few little lines in the petals. Really fine. You could add a couple of little dots if you wanted. You could highlight with white to give it more definition. You know, basically you could do anything. Okay, and put that in. Thank you. Incredibly bad shakes tonight. Okay. We could do a little bit of highlight if you like, with a bit of white. I'm just gonna get my other fine line. And again, you know, you can do as much or as little that takes your fancy. Okay, can you see? Is it? I've just put a few little highlights of white. I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to top coat it. It's literally really simple. So just waiting for that to cure. Okay, just put a bit of top coat. Top coat seems to seal the deal and bring it all together. I've used underneath a nude gel polish, and I've put, to do the nail art, I've put matte top coat. Okay, let's just give that a quick cure, and then I can show you. Trying to stick with some really simple basic stuff, because not all of us are experts at nail art. Okay, so there we go. Can you see? So it looks totally different with just those few little white lines, little highlights. So that's that one done. Okay, I'm going to do a tulip one next. A really basic tulip one. I did this last year and it was really popular. Is it? Okie doke. So I'm using this brush, and it looks a bit worn, but you know, it still works. I'm using this brush. Okay, and I'm going to use a longer liner. Okay, and again I'm using gel paints. Again, you can use acrylic paints, gel polish, but just remember, when using gel polish, it's not quite as pigmented. Okay, so I'm opening up the green and the yellow. Okay, and I always start with the stems and the leaves first. Oh, you know, the green bits, and then do the flower. Okay, and basically you're just drawing lines like that for the flowers. I think I'll come back and do the other lines in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to flash cure that. Do you know, one stroke, Rihanna, is my nemesis. Daigo has tried to teach me and teach me and teach me, and I just can't get it right. Blooming nightmare. Actually, I think I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to use my shadow gel from Brilbird, and I'm going to open my red and my violet. Okay, and we're literally, it's just 2 strokes for a flower. So I'll do the red one first. 2 strokes. Okay, so you do one there and one there. Okay, and I think I'll do a red one here. Okay, really basic. Use the violet one. Obviously you can use any colours. I'm using these vibrant colours so it stands out so you can see. Okay, so they're sort of like a bodged heart shape, if that makes sense. Flash cure that. Okay, I'm going to put some more green for leaves. Just going to flash cure that. Okay, and then what I do, you can use white. I'm using yellow this time. And then what I do is I just go up along the side of the green leaves, so it looks like you've got two-tone leaves, but they're just lines. See? See, it just adds some colour. Okie doke. Flash cure that. Can everybody see what I'm doing okay? It looks like I'm covering my hand. Okay. Then I get my white with my smaller line brush. And all I do is I put a white line on the edge of one side and a very faint one going down the middle. So it looks like you've separated the leaves, the petals. Like that. See, changes it completely. Flash cure that. Oh, thanks, Susan. Well, I'm using my extra fine zero line gel brush from Brilbird, and I've used just an ordinary liner brush, and I've used a shadow brush from Brilbird. It's a gel brush and it's slightly thicker than a line brush, sort of brushes that you have in your kits normally. Okay, and then what I do, I get my green and I just do some little lines at the bottom so it looks like grass. And that's it. Let me cure that. It's really simple, but really quite effective. There's no special techniques or anything like that. Okay, and then you just top coat. And again, the top coat brings it all together. You could do as many or as little as you want. There's no right or wrong. This is just something I made up myself. And it went down a storm with my customers. So I've continued to do it. My hubby's here, sitting here, holding his head while filming me. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next one. Similar technique, but different flower. You know, like a bluebell type of thing, maybe? Not sure, but it looks nice, so I went with it. Okay, again, using the green and your long liner brush. I created two, so I'm going to do two again. like that. And flash cure. Thanks, Rihanna. Thanks, Tracy. As I say, simples but effective. Sometimes when you've got a busy day, you don't have time to do really intricate nail art. So doing stuff like this looks really effective. Customers absolutely love it, but it's quick and easy. Okay, and then with me using my little line brush, I'm using the violet and the blue, and basically I'm putting spots, dollops, whatever you want to call them, up and down the stems from side to side. They'll have to wait. And obviously as you get nearer and nearer to the top, you get smaller and lighter, and then I just carry it on up like that. I'm going to do the same with the blue. It is literally just spots or dollops. There is nothing special about it at all. And again, getting smaller as you get into the top, and then just take it up like that. And then flash cure it. Okay, I'm just going to do my green again with some more lines to create leaves. Okay, I'm just going to do my little grassy bits. Okay. Okay, I'm going to flash cure that. Does everyone see it okay? Okay. So rather than use the yellow this time, I'm going to use the white. Just so you could, just to show that, you know, it doesn't have to be yellow or anything. And I'm just going to go along the sides of my green lines. And it just gives it definition. It looks really intricate, but isn't really. Okay, and then with my little liner brush, I'm just going to put some white bits on top of some of the petals. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a few little dotty ones in amongst the very fine ones at the top, like that. Okay, let's flash cure that, and then all you've got to do is top coat it. A nice spring nail. What? Anyone got any questions or anything? Okay, I'm going to top coat it. And again, once you top coat, it brings it all to life. See? Gives you that?
Yep.
Okay, let me just zap that in the lamp. I'm going to do some little squiggly roses next. Let me just put some bits out on my palette. So I used red. What? Oh. Well, I'm just going to get a bit of white out. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do really easy peasy roses. That's quick and simples. Okay, so the first one, I'm using a dotted tool, about that size. Oh, he's talking to Daisy. About that size, and all I do, you need to sort of. Shall I bring it? So what I'm doing, I dip it in the white, and then dip it in the red, and come back here, and you create C's. Like that. So you do it again, and you're just creating C's. Oh, so I got the like that. It's what we call really basic. The lines don't have to be straight because they're flowers. Okay. Now let me put a bit of purple down. Okay, so again, in the white, in the purple. So you've got a bit of both, and you're creating C's. Okay, so I'm going to just flash cure those two. So that's one way of doing it. There's also another way. Okay, I flash cured that. There's also another way. You can do just a round, uneven blob in whatever colour you've chosen. Okay, so let's flash fill those, and then you put your lines in. You can make it pink, white, whatever. Hi Julia. Okay, so I flash cured that, and with my white you draw your lines like you would again. It doesn't have to be perfect because roses aren't perfect. Remember, nature isn't perfect, so it doesn't matter if it's not quite perfect. And it does help if you don't shake like me, of course. Okay, we'll flash cure that. Oh, you're still feeling poorly? My Rosie's had that cold and my hubby's going down with it. Okay, so these are really basic roses that I'm showing you. Really basic, but actually can look quite pretty. And with my green, I'm just going to do a few leaves. Okay. Nothing fancy, just a typical leaf shape. A bit too much green there. Okay, I'm going to cure those. Obviously it's only for a few seconds because it's tiny little bits of gel. Oh no, the whole family, Julia. It's naff, innit? Okay, and then if you want, you don't have to, you can get your white and just put a little bit of highlight with your leaves. Again, it's not necessary, but I only ever do one side. You know, but imagine you could do a nice little cluster of them together with a couple of leaves in the corner of a nail. Thanks, Julia. They're really basic flowers, really, really basic. But, you know, not all of us are very good at nail art. So, okay. So that's cured and I'll top coat it. So 2 different quick, easy ways of doing roses, both just as effective as the other one. There we go. Can you see? Can they see? Okay, I'm just going to cure that. Okay, while that's curing, I can start on the other ones. Right, this one is just like a white gel flower. Really simple. And I'm using this brush. Can you see that?
Oh, you're going too quick. That's it.
Okay, just got told off. Okay, so again, all my nail pops It's a nude, nude polish from Jules 001. 2 coats with the matte top coat, so it gives a better surface to paint with. Right, so you can use any colour, but I'm just using white. Okay, and what I'm going to do, we'll do corner to corner. You could do it on the side, you could do it anywhere you want really. So you put your brush down and you push and you wiggle, and then as you pull back you lift. Okay, so push, wiggle and pull back. And again, so you place it down and you push and wiggle, work your way down to the middle and lift. Okay, let me just do the other corner so you can see it again. I'll start with the middle one this time. So you put it down and you push and you wiggle, so it's fanning, pull it back and lift. What?
What someone asking about the course.
Oh. So push and pull. You know, and if you're not quite happy with it, like I'm not quite happy with this one, you can go over it. It's meant to be slightly textured, you see. Okay, I'm just going to flash cure that. I'll speak to him afterwards. Then with my liner, I think I might top coat first. No, I'm not going to top coat. I'll do that in a second. Okay, with my liner brush, I'm using black. You could use any colour again. I'm just using these sorts of colours because it stands out. Okay, and you're just creating your lines on your petals. Again, brush vertical, like that. Okay, turn it around. Obviously, you won't be able to turn a finger around quite as easy as that, but and remembering, doesn't have to be perfect. See, in this case, my shapes plays well because it gives it staggered lines. Right, I'm just going to flash cure that. Okie doke. Now I'm going to top coat. And flash cure that. Anyone got any questions or anything so far? You need to take some flu stuff. Okay, and then back to the white with the liner brush. Now, there's a couple of different ways of doing this, and you're outlining so it looks like the outline is sitting on top. You know, so it gives a more 3D effect. Like that. You don't have to go around the whole petal. Let's make that a bit thicker. Okay. Like that. And it just makes it stand out more. On the other side, I'll show you a different way. So you could do... Yeah? Sorry, I keep moving it and I'm getting told off. Okay, so you could do a straight line going up and around. Another straight line going up and around. Alright, and then do it again like that. So you're creating a different type of flower. Okay, and then because it's a different type of flower, you could put dots coming out. Like that. So we've used the same petal shapes, but we've just outlined it differently to create two different types of flowers. Okay, I'm just going to give it another quick top coat. Obviously, if you want to put dots in the middle, you can. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to put... Normally I'd stick my gems on with my gem glue, but as it's just on a pop, I'm not going to bother. So I'm going to put a couple of small ones on one. And then maybe a big one on this one. Again, by choosing different types of gems, it gives a different look. You could use little pearly balls. You could use anything. Okay, so while that's finishing, let me just put my lids on, and then I'll just go on to my last one. Has this been interesting? Or has it been boring? No, because I struggle to know what to do. So if anyone's got any suggestions of what they'd like to see us do on our lives, speak up. Okay, so I'm going to do this is a bit of basic water art. I'm not overly very clever at this, but you know, we'll give it a go. Okay, so you dip your brush in your water, and then I was taught to wipe it on my hand 4 times, and then I sweep past the colour I want about 4 times with my brush. Okay, and then I'm do a V, just a bit more. Okay, and then I wiggle. Okay, and then I get a bit more water and I just take some away. Bit of my V's not quite dominant enough, so I'll put it back. And I'm just going across the edge to frilly it up a bit. And just keep doing that, but in just different angles. Okay. And you're just removing some. You can make it as dark or light as you like. It's entirely up to you. So I'm overlapping here. I want a bit more of a line there so we can see that it's overlapped. That's better. Okay. It doesn't have to be one colour. You can use as many colours as you like. Oh, no worries, Susan. Just going to do a little one there. Take some of it out. Okay, so then I'm just going to create a little buddy. I think we'll do one here. And I'm just doing like a V. And then I'm just going to do a much smaller little tiny bud at the top. I'm just going to take some of that out. Okay, so then with my line brush, I've mixed a black and a green together to give me a slightly darker green. And I'm just trying to get it to pick up. Okay, there we go. Okay, and so we want sort of a middle to the flower a little bit. And then a stem, like that. I wish I wasn't shaking so much. Do a little V around the bud. And another little V. Okay. And if you think that's a bit too dark, you can always take a bit out. I'll use my little smaller brush. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we could maybe, with just this very fine brush, just put a few more lines in, just to separate it a bit. Again, remembering, doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, that's better. Okay, just wait for it to dry. Could add a couple of leaves. So you sort of do a funny wiggle thing. I do it back to front the way I was shown. So I do a little line, and then I do a wiggle, and then I do a line. Okay. I'm just going to take a bit of that out with a bit of water, so it sort of blends in with the other. Okay. Do you think we could do with one up there? I think so. You know, it's all trial and error with these sorts of things. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to take a bit of water to lighten that a bit. Okay, I'm just going to wait for that to dry briefly, and then I'll top coat it, and then I'm going to be done for the evening. What does everybody think? Is it too basic? Do you want to see more intricate stuff that I'm not overly good at, but... Anybody? Okay, just going to top coat. I'm using a glossy top coat, but you can use matte. Watercolours look nice with matte top coat too. Thanks, Susan. You're just saying that because you're my sister, Tracy. I'm just waiting for it to finish in the lamp and I'll show you the finished results. Okay, finished results. Any questions about the live, you can message me or ask on here and I'll answer. And that's me for tonight. Okay, you take care and I'll see you next week. Bye.